keeping an eye on various stories, including the Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka is currently attending a service in Machakos County, while his DCP counterpart, that is Rigathi Gachagua, is currently also attending a church service at Gatundu South, and finally the Linda Mwananchi rally in Homa Bay. Those are among the stories we're keeping an eye on at this hour. Welcome to the broadcast. My name is Abdiaziz. Hashim, the sign language interpreter. At the bottom end of the screen is Byron Abuli. Now, a family in Kisii is racing against time to bring home the body of their 26-year-old son who died in Dubai just 4 months after traveling there in search for work. The family of Stephen Nyang'au Sereti from Engoto village in Nyaribari Chache says they have been given only a few days to raise 500,000 shillings for the repatriation of his body, failure to which he could be buried in Dubai. His parents say they borrowed money to facilitate his journey abroad and now have nothing left to sell to raise the repatriation costs. With the family having raised only 100,000 shillings so far, they're appealing to the government leaders and well-wishers to help bring Stephen home for burial. Contribution can be sent via M-Pesa to 0759 450 488 registered in the name of Thomas Nyamwage.
Amekaa huko miezi chache 4 months, nikapata ujumbe ati ameaga. Nilisikitika sana, nikashindwa la kufanya.
Kwa mila na desturi ya Mkisii inasema mtu ambaye amekufia huko mtoto anatakikana kushikwa kwao. Kwa hivyo wenye moyo safi tusaidie ili tulete mwili kutoka nchi ya nje.
And on the political front, PLP party leader Martha Karua has condemned acts of using goons to settle political scores against the opposition. While referring to the latest incident that befell DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua during his rally in Nakuru, Karua urged police officers to follow the constitution by offering security to all Kenyans regardless of their political affiliations. PLP party leader Martha Karua is the latest opposition principal to condemn the attacks meted on the DCP party leader Rigathi Gachagua's convoy on Friday and Saturday in Nakuru County.
Kabla wamalize wakaletewa goons, magari yao ikapigwa, watu wakapigwa na wakatawanywa. Hiyo ndio Kenya tunataka.
Speaking in Meru, Kirinyaga County, the PLP leader urged police officers to stop being used and instead follow the rule of law.
Hatutaki siasa za furugu na hatutaki fujo.
Meanwhile, Garissa Township MP Deko Mohammed has hit out at a former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua over what he termed as a persistent criticism of Kenya's security agencies.
So, mambo ya security wachia the experts, leave to those who are doing their work, let them not be intimidated by anybody or any politician, not only him but any other politician.
Elsewhere, youths allied to the United Democratic Alliance UDA in Trans Nzoia County have asked the opposition leaders to stop a cheap and divisive politics that they say has undermined development.
Tumekuja tu kueleza wapinzani wetu ambaye mara kwa mara wamekuwa wakiitana wakizungumza uongo kwamba sasa tuko tayari, hatutangojea ukiharibu jina ya president na sisi tumenyamaza.
Tumekuja ili kuweza kuestablish strong leadership structure ya youths kutoka grassroots mpaka hapo juu.
Meanwhile, Laikipia East, a member of parliament and TSP leader Mwangi Kiunjuri said that abusive politics will lead Kenyans nowhere, calling on those opposed to the government to suggest solutions instead.
Hata kama hamna agenda ingine, wacheni matusi. Manake hawa watu hawatakula matusi, watakula maendeleo.
Mutatushikilia wakati huu kabisa. Sisi tulimushikilia wakati wa Kimathi, tukamushikilia wakati wa Kenyatta, wakati wa Kibaki hata mlikuwa mnamtoa tukamrudisha na Tharaka Nithi. Si ni kweli? Sasa jamani, si
Still in Laikipia County, local leaders led by Laikipia North MP Sara Korere have declared that political parties' affiliation and prevailing political waves should not determine leadership choices in the county.
Sikizeni sera ya watu. Musikize sera ya kila mtu hapa. Kama ni wa DCP wako na sera mzuri, chagueni mtu sio DCP. Kama ni Jubilee wako na sera mzuri, chagua mtu sio Jubilee. Kama ni TSP wako na sera, chagua huyo mtu.
The leader spoke at the Enkirashi Primary School grounds during fundraising event to support women groups in establishing table banking initiatives. And away from politics, police officers from Tuati Sub-County in Meru County are pursuing a National Police Reservist NPR in connection with the alleged murder of a 47-year-old man in Antumbwe, Kiongo area in Igembe North constituency. The NPR, identified as Livingstone Mwenda, is reported to be on the run after allegedly shooting and killing Julius Kaliunga under unclear circumstances. Now, according to the Mtuati Sub-County Police Commander Bakari Juma, the deceased was reportedly shot in the stomach at a close range. Manuali said that after the incident, the suspect allegedly went to Ndoleli police station where he left his G3 rifle before fleeing. Police have since launched a manhunt for the suspect as investigations into the circumstances surrounding the incidents continue.
Imetembelewa na maafisa wetu wa ujasusi wa DCI pamoja na maafisa kutoka Ndoleli police station, na wakaweza kuthibitisha kwamba huyo bwana Kariunga alikuwa ameaga dunia kwa sababu ya kuvuja damu kutokana na ile jeraha alikuwa amepata, na alikuwa amepigwa risasi ya tumbo. Kwa sasa hatujaweza kubainisha nini kilitokea hasa, hususan kuhusu sababu iliyomfanya mpaka huyo NPR officer aweze kumpiga risasi huyo mwenzake.
Now, a quick look at what is happening across the devolved units. A Pest Control Products Board has seized the fake and unregistered home and farm pesticides with a street value of approximately 1 million shillings in Embu and Kirinyaga counties. This and more is in our county's news roundup.
Speaking after a crackdown conducted in Embu, Pest Control Products Board General Manager in charge of Compliance and Enforcement Lawrence Kalawa expressed concern over the proliferation of illegal pesticides, warning that anyone found selling unauthorized pesticides will face prosecution.
Visit the PCPP website, establish what is registered for use in Kenya. If that product is not listed there, they stop that in business because they are going to be arrested. The punishments are there.
Meanwhile, in Kitui County, residents of Gombeni in Mwingi North constituency are calling on both the local administration and national government agencies to intervene and address the recurring conflict between farmers and camel herders, which they say has persisted for decades and resulted in the loss of hundreds of lives.
Wale wenzetu wamekuwa wakifanya hataki ni kule kwa Kamari. Sasa wamehama kutoka kwa Kamari, sasa hivi wako Ngomeni, the lower part of Ngomeni. Na huko ndio wanafanya zile vituko.
Elsewhere, youth in Kakamega County are calling for greater inclusion in decision-making, saying they continue to face challenges in access to job opportunities, healthcare, security, and other basic services.
As young people of this great region, we want to be recognized as right holders, leaders, and partners, not merely beneficiaries.
And the Giriama traditional artist and musician from across the coastal region have turned to the Kaya elders for cleansing over what they describe as economic stagnation among the artists despite years of toiling.
Wale maarufu wa Kimijikenda wamekufa hawana kitu. Tumelewa mpaka hapo. Na kwa hali hiyo, tumeona kwamba labda kuna mahali kulikuwa kunakosekana. Na tumeona mahali ambao kulikuwa kunakosekana labda ni kukosa baraka.
And here in the capital Nairobi, residents of the contentious Kirima land within Jiru want action taken against local police officers whom they accuse of extortion in the pretext of acting on behalf of the family of the late Garishan Kamau Kirima.
Ni kina nani wametuma hii polisi? Gari 6 asubuhi.
kuliko waende wafanye kazi rasmi, wanasumbua fundi. Wakijenga wanabomoa.
Lastly, members of the Banyamulenge community living in Kenya marked the 22nd anniversary of the Gatumba massacre, reiterating calls for justice for victims of the conflict.
22 years hatujapata jibu. Tunaendelea kutumaini kwamba siku moja watasimama waamakie hii hewa mbaya ya uwaji na discrimination kusudi Wanyamulenge waweze kuishi ndani ya Kongo kama wakongomani wenzao.
Reporting for Channel 1, I am Wycliffe Okech.
That story by Wycliffe Okech takes us to our first commercial break here on KBC's Lunchtime News. Don't go too far. We still have more for you, including sports on the other side. So don't go too far.
Dancing through the midfield, this is a really good run. Azraf, nice turn from the youngster, nice strike as well. Oh, that's absolutely brilliant from Kautar Azraf. The Barcelona player has her very first goal at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. And didn't she take it well? It was a terrific run from Ait El Haj through the Algerian midfield. And then it came in to the teenager. A super first touch, and her second was unerring. And Morocco lead in this third place playoff. Look at that, skipped inside Balumu, and then just drilled it past Ngazi. Turned it away. A sweep of her left boot. Morocco do indeed score. Well, there's their 11th opportunity of the game.
Pata makao na boma yangu.
Do you save for retirement?
Kwani mimi ni mzee? I'm still young and I've got plenty of time to start saving later. Then again, si watu wa jua kali, hatunanga hizo ma pension plans.
Kwani ujui unaweza register with an individual pension plan yenye iko regulated na RBA?
Inawakaje?
Una deposit any amount of money at any time na uko guaranteed ukikuwa mzee. Maisha yako itakuwa nywe.
Badala nakushauri ni ukweli. Hadi mimi boost savings zangu kwa scheme yetu ya job.
Really?
Nilijua siwezi kuwa kijana forever. Sis, usikose kujipanga mapema. Tutakuwa wazee wa maana.
Hebu nionyesheni kuwa mzee wa maana.
Ensure you save and plan for your retirement during your youthful working days. Provided you are earning an income, you can join a retirement benefit scheme registered by Retirement Benefits Authority and safeguard your tomorrow. RBA, safeguarding your retirement benefits.
What role do fathers play in raising empowered women? Because as it is very well known, a father is a daughter's first hero, first protector, and the first example of how she's supposed to be loved, valued, and respected.
It was about watoto wamekula, wamevaa nguo. Aya sasa mimi natoka naenda kazini.
Mimi naenda
kazini. But those were those days, all right? We are at an age where your children are exposed to far more things than it was before.
With my wife, just recently, if you think back 100, 150 years, even as recently as my late dad, he knew exactly what to do as a man at a certain age, because those societal rites of passage and the roles were very clearly defined to that generation.
When a child runs into trouble and comes to you, you listen to them, and then the first question you ask them, like, okay, this has happened. What do you want to do? All right? You don't tell them, okay, this has happened, you have to do this, you can't do this. You don't talk to them. You don't talk at them.
Unfortunately, for many of us, we don't want to let go. We say, huyu ni mtoto wangu, she's 21. Huyu ni mtoto wangu, she's 32. Unafanya nini na mtoto wangu? And she's 32. We say, hey, my guy, it's a little late for that.
Welcome back and thank you for staying with us. Now, a section of leaders and elders from the Talai community, drawn from different counties, have appealed to former President Uhuru Kenyatta to honor his promise to support President William Ruto during his tenure as a president for 10 years. They say both leaders sought the blessings of these elders. The elders say the blessings they gave to President Ruto and former President Uhuru Kenyatta are the same as those they gave to former President Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, Daniel Moi and Mwai Kibaki. They view it is a sacred tradition. In addition, the leaders say they have launched a campaign to mobilize citizens to register as voters and to turn out in large numbers in the 2027 general election.
The former president was processed by us at Talai and he led for 10 years. And having placed him, got the blessings of the Talai, he now became a very important person in the cycle of the elders of Talai.
We did with conditions that he was going to support, former president is going to support His Excellency President Ruto for another 10 years. But of late we've heard and we've seen in the media and we've heard from the president himself that he's going against the promise that he made.
Jambo ambayo tuko nao ni amani na tunaendelesha amani. We are the ambassadors, we are fighting, we are going back as two-term, tuko ambassadors who are two-term.
The Ogiek community in Meru County is calling for greater protection of its cultural heritage and ancestral land. The call came during the 7th Ogiek Cultural Day organized by the Ogiek People's Development Program held at the Nkareta Cultural Center and Museum on the fringes of Mau Forest. According to the OPDP Executive Director Daniel Kobei, the survival of the Ogiek tradition in a rapidly changing world is a defining test of Kenya's cultural resilience. Kobei says this is not just an Ogiek concern, but a question for all humanity on how indigenous cultures can thrive amidst globalization, climate change and industrialization, among other factors.
We have to protect our biodiversity, our traditions, and a time when the world is facing climate change, our diversity and diversity laws, we are here showcasing that we can protect. Where we are going now is more research and to identify our culture. We must also protect the indigenous knowledge we hold. We cannot talk about disappearing language when we are already speaking this language. We lost stories, values, memories, names of plants, places of traditional importance, and we ways understanding and ways of understanding the world.
Now, a dispute over the ownership and closure of Manganoli Athletics Camp in Kajiado County has taken a new turn, with its founder and CEO Robert Lenana Saruni coming out to dispute claims surrounding the camp and the circumstances that affected its athletes. Saruni says the facility stands on privately purchased land and denies the camp was forcibly closed, attributing the developments to an ownership dispute involving donors and allegations of interference by some of the coaches. His response comes after one of the camp athletes, Josephine Sampeo, returned to Kenya as an under-20 1,500 meter champion after winning a gold medal in Oregon, the United States of America.
From the State Department of Children, Loitoktok Sub-County Office. And on 4th of April, he came in, listened to the dispute, asked about the authenticity of us running that camp, it being having minors in it. And unfortunately, we didn't have the qualified documents to run that camp. And since there was a dispute and there were chaos, he decided to close as the State Department of Children.
Elsewhere, the Kenya Film Commission, in collaboration with the Dedan Kimathi University of Technology, has unveiled a film production hub at the university to help grow the filmmaking industry. Through the hub, many young people in the region will have the opportunity to learn and be equipped with knowledge in digital and film production as they grow their talent in content creation. The facility will also be used to showcase produced films, plays, music and other upcoming arts. Different speakers during the launch emphasized the need for young people to advance this knowledge and come out to be more creative, not only by production but also look for avenues to showcase their films as a way of making profits. Over 130 learners have graduated in the film industry at the university and will be the first cohort to benefit from the facility.
That is Walt Disney. I believe all of us, given that we are in an institution of higher learning, we've interacted with Walt Disney in one way or another. Walt Disney famously gave us a quote: "All our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. The more you like yourself, the less you are like anyone else, which makes us unique, and we are all unique by nature. You can design and create and build the most wonderful place in the world, but it takes people to make the dream a reality. The difference between winning and losing is often not quitting."
Kenya is testing what has been described as the world's first solar-powered ambulance in a move that could change how emergency healthcare is delivered in remote areas. The ambulance was launched at the Amref International University, bringing together solar technology and emergency medical services in a vehicle designed to operate with less reliance on fuel and grid electricity. Energy Principal Secretary Alex Oshira says Kenya's abundant sunshine makes the country well placed to develop and test solar-powered transport, while the technology could also help reduce the cost of running ambulances. Developed by 23 students from the Eindhoven University of Technology in Netherlands, the Stella Juva can travel up to 750 kilometers and generate power for medical equipment, potentially allowing health workers to provide services in areas with limited or no electricity.
Why we chose Kenya is mostly because of a couple of reasons. So let's start with a sunny country. Obviously we want to be powered by the sun, and we want to showcase that our vehicle can drive on the sun. And to reach those 750 kilometers of range, we need to go to a sunny place, which Africa is perfect for. It seemed like the good solution to reach those remote areas, even with the current fuel shortages, like expensive fuel prices. This way we think medical help can be more accessible throughout the world, and especially sub-Saharan areas.
We are hoping that this innovation can be adopted by other institutions and manufacturers so that we can be able to benefit the African continent, but more so the Kenyans in our country.
Then it's also going to help us save life, and most important is to push the average life expectancy rate, because Africa, we have one of the lowest life expectancy rate. Yes, it has been coming up, but we are not yet there. With such kind of innovations, we push the life expectancy rate, which is very good.
Here's the latest in the world of sports. Algeria secured a podium finish for the first time in their history of the CAF Women's Africa Cup of Nations Morocco 2026 after overcoming host Morocco 3-2 on penalties following a 1-1 draw in the regulation time in Rabat. After a disappointing loss to Malawi in the semi-finals, Algeria bow out of the competition with their heads held high and a bronze medal to their name.
Nice turn from the youngster, a nice strike as well. Oh, that's absolutely brilliant from Kautar Ashraf. The Barcelona player has her very first goal at the Women's Africa Cup of Nations. Defer turning away from Rabat. Looking into Boussaho, who's in behind. Can she convert? She can! It's in the back of the net! And the flag stays down. And remarkably, Algeria, with 7 minutes left on the clock, are level. In this tie, up steps Defer. And coolly finds the bottom left-hand corner against Ungazi. Can she find the net? She can! Stop Algeria's lead, and she sends her Michi the wrong way and finds 2-2. Well, she can indeed. Brilliantly done. As the whistles ring at the crossbar, and she's the latest Moroccan to miss. Absolutely remarkable.
Now, of course, to tonight's special coverage where Cameroon and debutants Malawi will meet in the final of the CAF Women's Africa Cup of Nations WAFCON Morocco 2026 at the Moulay El Hassan Stadium in Rabat tonight. This is the first final since 2022 in which neither team have previously won the WAFCON title. Including the inaugural tournament in 1998, this is the only third final in which neither finalist had previously lifted the trophy. Nigeria defeated Ghana in 1998 while South Africa beat Morocco in 2022. The winner will become the fourth different WAFCON champion, joining 10-time winners Nigeria, 2-time champions Equatorial Guinea and 2022 winners South Africa. The match, of course, will be aired live on KBC Channel 1.
Debutants, Women's World Cup bound.
And don't miss that particular showpiece. Now, Strathmore Lales and KU Black Blood joined the teams qualified for the quarterfinals as the first of the 26 Cabaret Sevens at the Arfuea grounds culminated on Saturday. Kenya Harlequin finished the day at the top of the Pool A after a 19-7 victory over Daystar Falcons, with Brighton Omondi scoring twice for Queens and David Mwangi also crossing. Strathmore Lales secured top spot of Pool B and a place in the quarterfinals after beating Mwamba RFC 29-12 in the final match of the pool.
Nobody at home to defend. It's the ball, the bounce, and Floyd. Floyd Wabwire. What does he do? He has somebody on the outside to walk with Floyd. They're taking him in wide. They're taking him wide. Floyd tries on.
Now, Musokoto Secondary School, Vihiga Cranes, Chaco Girls and Lugari Progressive are through to the finals of the Safaricom Chapadimba Western Region Finals after winning in the semi-finals played at the Masinda Muliro Stadium in Kandui in Bungoma County. Musokoto booked their place in the boys' final after cruising to a convincing 3-0 victory over Kakamega's Greens Buffaloes. They will now square it out with Vihiga Cranes from Vihiga County in the Safaricom Chapadimba Western Region Finals at the Masinda Muliro Stadium in Kandui, Bungoma County. In the girls' final, Chaco Queens, who edged out Vihiga's Blue Commandos 3-1, will face Lugari Progressive.
Allow me thank God because si safari rahisi, manake si ati kucheza kuzuri ndio kuwin, lazima Mungu aweke rubber stamp. Pili, management ya shule through Mr. Albert Masiolo mwenye alinileta Vihiga because in my life sijaifikiria kufundisha Vihiga.
Haijakuwa rahisi, wapinzani tu wamekuwa gumu. Ndio changamoto ya game ni unahitaji kwa game lose win na draw. Tumetoka kwa sub county finali na hii ni mara yetu ya kwanza kwa Chapadimba. Tuliekana vijana tukawaambia vijana kuna kufunga shule ni mazoezi mpaka tufike penye tulikuwa tumeamua. Ukiangalia game yao pia imekuwa hard, wamekuwa na equal chances kama sisi, but the only advantage ni kwamba sisi tumeutilize those chances.
Yeah, we always fight. What to give up. Tumekuwa tunajaribu kuweka ball chini lakini wanaharibu. Sasa inakuwa ngumu.
Well, before I go, it's another season for the English Premier League and another season for the United Football Opposition to continue monitoring closely. Now the champions, Arsenal, of course, will be kick-starting their campaign against Manchester City in the FA Community Shield. We wish all our opposition, of course, Chelsea, Liverpool, and other teams, of course, we cannot mention, like Manchester United, all the best in this campaign. My name is Abdiaziz. The sign language interpreter at the bottom end of the screen is Barona Boli. Good afternoon.